Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. So yesterday we finished that Nagacchati Vinapanam Vyadhihi Aushadha Shabdataha. Without drinking or without taking the medicine, the disease will not go. The disease will not go. That is the practical thing. Here also, the same thing, aparokshanubhuti vina, our जीवः न मुच्यते, जीव का मुक्ति लाभ नहीं होता. So there are three things: vyadhi, adhi, and upadhi. Vyadhi, adhi, and upadhi. Vyadhi is physical disease, physical disorder. Adhi is mental disease. And upadhi is intellectual disease. You should remember it. Vyadhi is physical disease, adhi is mental disease, and upadhi is intellectual disease. And vina, as vina panam, without taking the medicine, the physical disease doesn't go. Now, bina aparoksha anubhava, our intellectual problem, mental problem, and physical problem will not go. How will it go? That they will go in the sense they are not there. ब्रह्म ज्ञानी को भी बीमारी होता है. This because whoever has the bodily problem will be there. But when the body will be negated, along with it, the bodily problem also will be negated. Yesterday in a morning Vedanta group, that Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Aparoksha, I liked it because there was a charcha of that. You know, according to Shastra, Aparoksha Anubhav means correct understanding of Mahavakya. Correct understanding of Mahavakya is Aparoksha Anubhuti. Clear now? Confusion is clear? Yes. Not only the Shabda, Shabda Jalam Maharanyam, Shabda with its Artha. Like, you know, if I say there is a tumbler or glass, then and there in our mind, one pot thought comes or glass thought comes. If we say sun, the sun thought comes. Likewise, whenever we will hear that Brahman Shabda, that thought should come. Atma, thought should come. Without enough spiritual practices, enough sadhana, people will understand that my everything is Brahman. Sarvam khalu idam Brahman. or Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Many people misunderstand, many people who are in the first stage of Vedanta listening, that my body is Brahman. Even after listening to Vedanta also, a lot of people think that in book it is written, Aham Brahmasmi means my body is Brahman. Clear? So without proper sadhana, we can't negate our body. If we can't negate our body, we can't get the proper impact of the word Brahman. So I have to negate my body as Sakshi, as witness of this body, not mere repetition of the word I am Brahman, I am Brahman. I told you that Aham Brahmasmi is not a japa mantra. Aham Brahmasmi is upalabdhi vakya. Like Tattvamasi is the upadesha vakya. But Aham Brahmasmi is Anubhava Vakya, Upalabdhi Vakya. Clear? Then 63 and 64 together. Akritva Drishya Vilayam Agnyatva Tattvamatmanaha Brahma Shavdaih Kuto Muktihi Ukti Matra Phalair Nranam Akritva Drishya Vilayam Agnyatva Tattvamatmanaha Brahma Shavdaih Kuto Muktihi Ukti Matra Phalair Nranam. Then 64. Akritva Shatru Samharam Agatva Khila Bhusriyam Raja Miti Sabdanaha Naha Raja Bhavitum Arhati Akritva Shatru Samharam Agatva Khila Bhusriyam Raja Miti Shabdanaha Raja Bhavitum Arhati. दृश्य विलयम अकृत्वा दृश्य की विलय विशेष रूपे लय ना करके, if you don't do or if you don't merge all the perceived things, atmanah tattvam ajnatva, if you atmanah means sixth case, ajnatva without knowing the tattvam, the essence or the essential nature or the intrinsic nature of atma, atmanaha. Brahma Shabdaihi, only that physically or externally by mere uttering of the word Brahman, 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 Nrinam, Utaha Muktihi. Ukti Matra Phalaihi means only by utterance. Nrinam of the people, Utaha Muktihi. How the liberation is possible? Here it is telling Drishya matlab all the object of all the sense organs. Not only the name and form is Drishya, even the sound, taste, smell, everything is Drishya. Drishya means perceived. Perceived by what? Perceived by all sense organs. And every sense organ has its own object of perseverance. Clear? Now the thing is, if through the Guru who is imbibed with sadhana chatushtaya and who has a parampara siksha, who has the learning system, who has learned under a great lineage, when he says Tattvamasi, you are that, then a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna student who is imbibed with fourfold spiritual practice, he he is able to understand, I am Brahman. If there is a wasted land, never plowed, never manured, never irrigated, in that land we can't expect enough crop if we sprinkle the crops also on that ground. So the mind, which is not well nurtured, well disciplined, well manured, well learned, that mind can't think upon that unthinkable Brahman which his guru is telling. Clear? Then akritva shatru samharam, without killing or without defeating the enemies, akhila bhusriyam agatva bhusriyam, akhila, without getting the right of entire wealth of the country, nobody can be an exact king. Anybody can claim himself, I am a king. Chair is a physical thing. Who is the duster of the chair and table? Suppose who dusts the chair of our PM? And at the time of dusting, if he thinks that I will sit once on that chair and that say, I am the king of the country, only this word is not enough for him to be a king. King means you have to defeat your enemies through your army. There is a famous, very old quotation. Uh, Another old quotation I forgot. That it's the duty of God to mercy the enemies. Our duty to make them meet. ভগবানের দায়িত্ব শত্রুদের ক্ষমা করা, আর আমাদের দায়িত্ব শত্রুদের ভগবানের কাছে পৌঁছে দেয়া, তার সঙ্গে সাক্ষাৎ করানো। শত্রু সংহারম কৃত্বা অখিল ভূ শ্রিয়ম আগত্বা अहम राजा अहम राजा अहम राजा इति शब्दात राजा भवितुम न अर्हति. Nobody becomes a king without doing all those things. What Gurudev is writing, we will just read. Yes. Without achieving the disappearance of the entire pluralistic world, and without realizing the real nature of the self, how can one achieve full liberation by a mere repetition of the word Brahman? Surely it will end only in a wasteful effort of speech. Without eliminating his enemies and without bringing the entire land of his kingdom under his sway, by merely repeating, I am the empire, I am the emperor, I am the emperor, one cannot become an emperor. You know, Bhu and Sri, Bhu and Sri, land and wealth of the country or of the place, is the indicator of a king. In a family also, I'm the owner of that things means he is having the right for the land and the wealth. You will see there is a very good connection, good relationship with the home minister and finance minister. That is why in some place CM doesn't believe anyone else as home minister, so he or she becomes, because there should be a good relationship with home ministry, Ministry of Home Affairs, and finance. If it is not under control, we can't claim. Wherever the problem happened in any other countries nowadays going on, you will see there is a contradiction between that three: the president or the prime minister, and the finance minister and the defense minister. In Pakistan, you see, there is always a conflict. Whenever the conflict comes between the defense minister and the prime minister, the entire government falls down. It can't grow. In family also, that we call a good family, when there is a good connection with all the members. That is the, according to the Chanakya Niti, I will request you, especially the ammas, that it is not a matriarchy comment. You have to go back to the Chanakya's time. You know, if there is dushta wife, the loose character wife is there in the family, and if now you can convert the loose character male also, but on that time the actual formation of the family used to depend on the woman. Even still now, today also, women are the Lakshmi of the entire family. যে বাড়ির মহিলা বিগড়ে গেছে, মানে ধরুন শরীর খারাপ, মানসিক স্থিতি খারাপ, হতেই পারে, সবসময় যে চরিত্র খারাপ হতে হবে তার কোনো মানে নেই। দেখুন, সেই বাড়িতে কখনো স্ত্রী আসে না। যে বাড়ির মা ধীর স্থির শান্ত কুশলী, সাধারণত উই হ্যাভ সিন যে বাবারা উপার্জন করেই খান্ত। মানে লিটারেলি আই হ্যাভ সিন ইন মাই ফ্যামিলি, মাই ফাদার ইউজ টু আর্ন, বাট সংসারে হি ইউজ টু হেল্প মাই মম. My mom used to guide him. This one will be happening, that one will be happening. Means, when that sort of Narivadi Andolan, all the offense happened, it's very uncommon to me. I have seen my father, that car used to come to pick him up, because he is a very big officer with the security and all those things. But at home, I have seen at every bit of work, he used to help my mom. From cooking to washing clothes to cleaning home, everything. And when we grown up, we helped. Means, when in Ramakrishna mission, you have to learn everything else. There, your ego should not be there that I am having that much of education or like that. I did not, because it happens. When I first joined, I thought that I will do a lot of things, I will contribute, because I am having 3 masters. So first duty I got, cleaning the drains and toilets. So I thought, what happened? Then 2 brahmacharis will be there. So there was one Karnataki brahmachari Prabhu, I can still remember. So our work was over. You know what happened? The first bell will be there for lunch. The whole entire building will go, except 2 brahmacharis who will clean the drains and all the things, toilets and all those things. So suddenly I asked Prabhu, I thought that he did not, because a lot of swamis are there who passed only class 10. Still in our time also it was there. Now it is not. It's only after graduation. So I just asked what happened, what you studied. I thought that he passed class 10 and what he will do. He is doing the drainage and all those things. I asked Prabhu, how much you have studied. He told, I could not study more. What you have studied? Now, I have done doctorate of pediatric medicine from Massachusetts University. So, that was the thing. And we both used to clean the commodes and all those things. But I was very familiar. On that time, a lot of brahmacharis used to get a lot of trouble because in Belur Math or in any organization, when the organization monk they produce, they teach you every bit. যখন in গর্ভগৃহ শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণের ধুনো দেয়া হবে, ধুনোর জায়গাটা কোন জায়গায় কিভাবে আছে সেটাকে নিয়ে কতগুলো piece of that chobra will be there. Everything is totally calculated and systematic. So একদম যে গাইড সে 3 দিন হাতে করে দেখাবে, 3 দিন সে লক্ষ্য রাখবে আমি ঠিক করছি কিনা। একদম ঠিক করছি মানে শুধু কাজ নয়, কাজ মানে এন্টায়ার থিং, জিনিস নামানো থেকে জিনিস তোলা, সে যেমনটি করেছে তার সাকসেসর সেরকম করছে কিনা। So I was very familiar with it because at my home, my parents taught me how to clean the utensils, how to clean homes, how to broom and all those things. And when in other centers, when many a times I told the staff, you should not do like that, you do. They thought that swamis are from, fallen from the trees. No, no, it doesn't happen. Who told you? Here also, it's the same thing, sometimes some cooking is not appropriate. I tell, Are, you don't do that, now it never happens. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. Now they become very conscious, if you know the things, he is the king who is having all the knowledge at least. So likewise, that he can't claim that I am the king, I am the king, I am the king, I am the king. His occupancy and his the control over the finance and the defense make him a king. Not in the democratic system, because when our Shankaracharya ji wrote it, it was not a democracy. So now Darshtranta. What is the Shatru? Constant, where every time the king has to fight with the enemies all the time, at home and outside. Because outside problem will be there. Whatever the country, now the situation is, whoever the country is, how much friendship is there, there should be a border and border guard. That is the external enemies. And internal enemies, the opponent, opposition, and other things, a lot of crimes and everything else. What is in case of us? That mala, chitta mala, the vikshepa, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya are the internal enemies of everyone else, but it is like a terrorist, dangerous terrorist who are ready to do suicide bombing, such terrible terrorist for a sadhaka. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moho, Mad, Matsarya are enemies for everyone else. But for a sadhaka, na shobhate. It doesn't suit actually. Kami Purush and sadhaka can't match. Now, Krodh, Krodh has different angle. Swamis have Krodha. There is some different angle of, but that is not Krodha because they are angry. Within a second, they forget why they are angry. And they hug the same person. So that is not considered as Krodha. Krodha means when I nurture it, pet my anger. Oh, you did it. Let the chance comes for me. I will show you who am I. This is Krodha. And another thing of Krodha, when my anger, why? Now I was hurt because my ego was hurt. And that is why I was angry. It's another thing. Clear? But when a person is angry because of you, because of your benefit, because of your progression, because that person knows that if you do it, you will surely die or injured. And when a good word, soft word, flower like word is not acting, then that person starts firing for that person's goodness. That is not considered as krodha. Clear? So, mala, bikshepa, kama, krodha, they are our shatru. And what is our sampatti? So, that shatru should be killed for a sadhaka. Otherwise, Brahma Jnanam is not possible, not possible, not possible. If there is a bit of attachment, सुई में जो धागा जाते हैं उसमें थोड़ा सा भी कुछ रहेगा तो सुई में धागा नहीं जाएगा. If little bit of attachment is there, please make sure everything will happen. You may have some occult power that Swamiji you sit, Swamiji become bhasma. That things you can do. But Brahma Jnanam is not possible. Another thing is wealth. What is the wealth for the Swami? Because Swami is called Maharaj, राजाओं की राजा. तो अगर राजा के पास वेल्थ नहीं रहेगा तो क्या राजा है? What is the wealth of a Brahmajnani? Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparama, Shraddha, Samadhanam, and Mumukshutvam. all that 9 kinds of, sampatti, wealth you are not having, then how you will become a Maharaj, a king? You should have there. Okay. So that is that Shatru Vinasa. At the same time, you must have to have the king of such wealth in full of beams. And one thing, dissolving anatma in atma, what does it mean? If we know that only one thing, that anatma is mithya, then only mukti is not possible. The whole world is mithya, 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 mithya. You have, suppose you are trying to realize the whole world is mithya, liberation is not possible. Then what you have to know? Atmanaha tattva. If you don't know the intrinsic nature of Atma, you can't dissolve Anatma into Atma. And that is Mithatva. And we have to know, we have to strive to know Atma. Then Anatma will be automatically Mithya. As long as we will start walking towards the east without any trying, the west will be far away from me. My journey is towards the east. So whenever we will try to know Atma, Anatma will fall apart without any effort even. Clear? Now you can argue, if anyone does, that in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad there is neti, 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 is there one vichara padhyati. That is negating of anatma. Actually, when negative, keeping the atma verily in mind, when I'm searching atma, that is this? No, not this, not this, not this. That is the paddhati. Clear? Clear? Shukla amma ki bujhte parle? Besh, besh. So, next we will discuss about the differences, 3 differences between Yoga Darshana and Advaita Darshana. We will do it in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.